Is the risk you about to take, is the risk you about to take worth it? Is it worth the reward that you're going to get? That's what I want to talk about this morning. The reward that you are going for, is it worth the risk you're going to take? Let me say that one more time. The reward that you're going for, is it worth the risk you're about to take? Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Ramona. Good morning, Verena. How are you all on this morning? Wonderful morning it is. Got a word for you on this morning, Joel. Got a word for you guys on this morning. You already know. God dropped something in my spirit, and I got to get it to you all. Risk versus reward. Put that in the chat area. Risk versus reward. Life comes with risk. Some risk we take, some things we go for, other things we pull back on. And it is dependent upon the reward that we think we're going to get. It's dependent upon the reward that we think that we're going to get. Is it worth the risk? Is it worth the risk? Now, I want you to think about some things that you're doing, the things that you're involved in right now. I mean, some positive things and you say, you know what, should I? Shouldn't I? Will I? Won't I? What am I going to do? Is it worth the risk? Well, you already know I'm going to give you the text to talk and the takeaway. I just want to just greet a couple of people. Minister Mobley, how are you on this morning? Good morning, Arlene. How are you on this morning? Devery, how are you guys on this morning? And I want you to do this. If it's your first, second, or third time joining us, you already know, Manna fan, what we want to do. Please put it in the chat area so we can reach out to you, and so that we can shout you out, and so that we can let everybody know we're glad that you're a part. Put your revelation that you get in the chat area so others can get it as well. This morning, risk versus reward. Life is full of risk, and we look at things in terms of, I want this, that, or the other, but is the reward worth the risk? Is the reward worth the risk? The text, the talk, the takeaway. Here it is, Matthew 14:28. It says this: Lord, if it is you, check this, conditional, Peter talking, they're in the storm, they're on the water, the Sea of Galilee, and they don't know whether or not it's Jesus. And then he says, Peter replied, tell me to come. If it is you, tell me to come on the water, and I will come. I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk. Risk versus reward. Here's the first thing. When you determine whether to take the risk or not, you know what? Ask yourself, what are you risking? What are you risking? For Peter, it was risking dying in the storm. That's what it was for him. What are you risking? The second thing is this: when are you risking it? When are you risking it? For Peter, it was in the middle of a storm. My God, is that the time to take this risk? Is this the right time to take this risk? I mean, and what am I risking? What might I lose if this don't go the way I want it to go? For Peter, it was his life. When he was doing it, it was during a storm. Man, is that the best time? They always say, if you're going to invest, you know what, take your money out of the stock market 5 years before you retire. You know what, don't risk more than you're willing to lose. All of those things, and that's what Peter was doing. Here's the third thing, and this is what we want to focus in on. Why are you risking it? Why are you risking it? For Peter, he says, you know what? He tells you this: Lord, if it is you. We make the mistake of thinking that Peter wanted to walk on water. Not so. Read the text. Peter wanted to come be with Jesus. And therefore, walking on water was just a byproduct of getting closer to Jesus. Lord, if it is you, bid me to come. Jesus responded in the 29th verse, come. Come be with me. In the middle of the most risky time in your life, in the storm of your life, come be with me. That's what Jesus is saying. And so Peter is saying, I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk. We oftentimes think in terms of Peter walked on water. Oh my God, what a wonderful, awesome thing would it have been for a human to have walked on water outside of Jesus. That's not what's on Peter's mind. He takes the risk because he wants to get closer to Jesus. Walking on water is just a byproduct of that. What's your takeaway? The risk you take should always get you the reward of being closer to Jesus. When you take a risk, ask yourself the question, is it the result of me going to get closer to Jesus? If it is, get out of the boat. Take the risk. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. See you tomorrow morning with more morning manna. God bless you. Bye now.